Have you ever wondered what are the true capabilities of your body and mind? You think you have reached an excellent athletic level, but you are still attracted by the idea of exceeding your limits to the point of asking whether it is worth trying something forbidden. Calm down. If you are already jumping for joy, thinking you have bumped into one of those sites that teaches you how to make mind-altering substances at home, sorry to disappoint you, but our channel is not really one of those websites. In spite of this, don't get discouraged. In this video, we will expose a few natural methods to achieve the same results, at least without the risk of having your brain zapped. It's all about energy. Let's assume we are not all equal. And thank goodness, you may say. But then comes the day you come across that type of person who just looks more committed and active in life than you. And that is something that you immediately perceive. That kind of person who not only works harder, but when he or she speaks to you for the first time, you immediately understand that they are wrapped up in an unsettling, but at the same time, enthralling light. This is when that bitterness assails you and you start wondering, what does he or she have more than me? Let's see this situation under a martial point of view. It is clear how the more energetic and active people are those who will eventually succeed in an energy-based industry, such as the martial arts world. However, it is worth emphasizing that even if you are equipped with the amount of energy of a Super Saiyan, you can't always reach the most ambitious goals in martial arts. Agreed that both mule and horse belong to the same family, and also concluded that it is very unlikely that will be the mule to cross the finish line. Let's see how to make the slow mule give the always winning stallion a hard time. We are all human beings, that's true, but just as for the example of the mule and the horse, not everyone is endowed with the same quality of energy.
He's using the iron fist technique.
Before going into the specifics, we would like to point out a key factor further charged with a high ethical and philosophical impact, an element that may get you spending your next few nights hugging your pillow while crying at the inequities of life. Though we think it's better to be immediately aware of this instead of looking for explanations elsewhere. Not everybody is the same, and too often, especially in sports, the one who is most naturally energy equipped has also a head start. It is clear how frustrating all this seems, as it basically forces us to work twice on ourselves for maybe not even being able to tarnish the performance of those who, instead, have heaps of energy to sell. Injustice aside, this is neither the channel nor the video for professional complainers. Because if you are a true martial artist, your mind is set on victory, no matter what. If your goal in life confines itself to just ending up first in a tournament or winning a fight, then your career will undoubtedly end the day you meet someone stronger, which in short means always. The one who has accepted the tough journey of the martial artist gives his or her best because it's his or her duty to do so. However, if it is towards a competition that his or her martial career is headed, well, let this be an incentive to always do his or her best. One must bear in mind that, like it or not, there are individuals with more or less energy, just like all of the lithium batteries produced. Some may last longer, others will have a more limited lifespan. How to gradually unleash your superpowers. Number 1 method. Preserve your energy rather than rushing in trying to increase it. Weren't we just talking about batteries? Well, the following example applies to this case. Too often we are prone to associate Qigong, the art of cultivating Qi, with transcendental postures and moves that do nothing but induce a smile to most.
Tibetan fighting.
Provided that Qigong is an ancient art and that this centuries-old technique has demonstrated on numerous occasions that, if set in a martial context, it can become tremendously effective. We would like to take the example of the battery to make you understand how the basic principle of Qigong is as simple as the definition of the term itself, to breathe. How many of you own a cell phone? Everyone. Never a question was more obvious. Here's a technical question then. How long does your battery last on average? It depends. Exactly. It depends on factors such as if you will receive or make any calls, if the Wi-Fi is active or Bluetooth enabled, if the display brightness is always set to max, if updates are active. If this example is still not clear to you, know that given a number of people having the same level of energy, if both our body and mind had to discharge within a 24-hour time frame due to a series of external factors, a human being would run out of energy much faster. And just like a lithium battery, we would notice a reduction of energy efficiency by 25% each year, precisely because the body ages in the same way a battery discharges due to the daily charge and discharge cycles described above. Be careful though, because only battery performances are affected by this 25% reduction per year. A human being would not run out of life force in just 4 years. Either way, the example just explained wants to prove that through targeted daily exercises, you can significantly reduce the waste of this precious energy that we need so much in our busy days. Activities like Qigong, meditation, Tai Chi Chuan are all valuable allies against the premature exhaustion of our battery level. The easy alternatives to breathing exercises. Who among you, now that it is easier to understand how to preserve batteries, will enroll in a Qigong or Tai Chi course? Few or none. And why? Simply because there are temporarily satisfactory substitutes. First of all, caffeine, which in a few seconds solves, or I'd rather say masks, the problem. Caffeine gives us a prolonged burst of energy. However, it does no more than replacing the battery charge level displayed on your smartphone with a fake one. Consequences, it's obvious. Immediate increase in attention and productivity, but with the side effects such as flickering and addiction. Oh, and for the uninitiated, caffeine remains in your bloodstream for up to 24 hours after consumption. From bad to worse. Starting from the 2000s, a shocking production of energy drinks began, sparkling canned drinks with the ridiculous amount of caffeine. But the problem does not lie here. The concern arises when reading the other ingredients on the back of the can, and when glucuronolactone, which is one of them, is a false friend for your brain, but ruthless tax agent when life will come for you. The choice, as always, is up to us. How to preserve energy. Let's start with the impossible things. Here's a list of things you will never do to preserve the energy your body is able to offer. Number 1, reduce all sugars to 0. Almost all modern pre-packed products contain sugar. You can check it yourself by reading the list of ingredients on the label. Sugar creates inflammation, and your immune system, in response, lowers the energy level that your body can offer. Sugar also creates addiction. It is a very common business strategy, and producers know that. Number 2, considerations for your sexual life. This only applies to males. Females, on the other hand, have nothing to worry about. In the Chinese book Nei Qing, a famous essay of internal medicine is explained in depth how the expulsion of the semen in a man can lead to an abrupt loss of energy. No one is telling you to desist from having a regular and satisfying sexual life, of course. However, it's interesting to mention how little or no sexual activity for an extended period of time, and for men only, can incredibly increase the athletic performance, regardless of the sports activity being practiced. Many of the athletes are required these days to make this sacrifice, up to 40 days before a competition. Number 3, think less. Invasive and recurring thoughts consume energy, just like those annoying updates that your phone keeps asking you to download. Are they really so necessary? Number 4, breathing deeply during the day. If there's one thing our hectic and fast-paced life does not do, it's training us to have a proper breathing. We live our lives shortening the depth of every single breath to a rapid and unnatural gesture. If our job really prevents us from breathing in a natural way, then activities such as self-imposed meditation sessions, or even just a short nap after lunch, as long as it's less than 30 to 40 minutes, is most welcome. Number 2 method. Now that we know where to intervene to prevent unnecessary wastes of energy, we can finally get into the specifics on how to release our superpowers. Hard Qigong. There is a branch of Qigong specifically designed for the martial artists practitioners who are eager to overcome their own athletic and mental limits. It is called Hard Qigong. Hard Qigong is essentially the blending of the following disciplines. Number 1, therapeutic Qigong. Number 2, physical training. And number 3, intention and self-denial. More information about Hard Qigong is available on our website, martialartsexplained.com, or by clicking the link in the description.
You mean that's the best you lovers can do? What you say?
Coochie, really, don't take it apart. Brother Joe, he didn't mean it. No, come on.
So in conclusion, as in all things, some opt for the easier path, others decide for the uphill climb. It is tempting, especially when we fall into the category of average energy individuals, to choose the shortest path, in this case drugs. You know the ones, maybe even considered as the ultimate option. Let's not forget, however, that we are talking about martial arts, and while it is true that today's society sees in drugs a complement to someone's diet, for the martial artist the answer must always be no, full stop, because martial arts means first of all honesty, and to the athlete who makes use of drugs is breaking the martial code and deceiving him or herself.
Just a warning, not to underestimate Tibetan fighters. And don't forget that.